Welcome, patrons, back to more episodes of The Americans. We're on episode 10 of season 2. There's not an awful lot to catch up on, really, other than what's already been discussed, but... oh, excuse me. Philip had that conversation with Liz about, as far as he's concerned, this is easier for her than it is for him. And I do agree to a certain point, just emotionally. And not physically, they're both more than capable of handling themselves. But with everything that went so bad on that last mission, again, and her reminding him, oh, this is war, and he's like, I know it is, don't give me the speech, yada yada. And it's disseminating down to all of his family now, because in effect, Paige is showing signs of moving away from the traditions that they wanted to have, getting involved with this religious group. He went off on her on the last episode with it. And I'm still waiting for Stan to put the pieces together after Martha kind of just dropped a light bulb moment to him that what his investigation that he's dealing with also happens to be the same day of the murder of the family. So let's see where we go. This is episode 10. She gets it to an extent. They can talk, they're adults. But Paige, if he distances her from him now and becomes the bad guy,
Paige.
You'll never get her back. Wow. Code. This is proper old school.
Good morning. I'm calling from the J.D. Pierce Elementary School in Mezzo Heights regarding our 17th annual fund drive.
She ain't talking to you.
She'll be fine. We have to get to the office.
Are you okay?
We're fine.
It was a dangerous mission and a successful one. The center is very pleased.
I mean, the mission was a success, but not as far as Philip's concerned.
Something's come up. It's time sensitive. We'd like you to tackle it if you feel you're ready. 20 diplomats, but 5 of them are ISI, Covert Action Division.
To meet with the CIA?
Yes. Yousaf Rana, number 2 guy, Covert
I like
Action.
that they tell us this because
Highly respected, next in line to
I
run
don't
the
know
division.
these kind of details.
We assessed him 4 years
from
ago
it
when he
back
was in the
then.
Netherlands on a posting. Oxford educated.
I kind of feel sorry for him.
My government has agreed to accept your police department's version of events surrounding Vlad Kosygin's death.
To congratulate me on my reinstatement? Or are you trying to tell me you know where I live?
Oh, okay.
You could have destroyed us both.
Mutually assured destruction. You target our people, we target yours.
It's just not the way you thought. That's how it appears to the 2 guys who are kind of not at the top, but are at the top of the investigative side of things. And Amador wasn't targeted, wasn't a hit, wasn't revenge, wasn't it tit for tat. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, snooping on Martha, and Philip had no choice. And then we go on the other side, and because of your failed mission with Stan, that was out of frustration, and he did the same. So it's his agent killed your guy, your agent killed his guy, but not via orders. And neither one of these 2 are aware as to who struck the killing blow.
Excuse me. Is this your paper?
Just leave me the crossword.
You already know he's susceptible to European women. In the file. But all that was just for you to notice her. There you go. Quick turnaround, that's how you know.
8 years. He's experienced. He'll be suspicious of a woman he meets in a bar or hotel lobby, but the wife of the deputy undersecretary of defense.
But Annelise has no experience running something like this. Yeah, maybe to make the initial
You think it was
contact.
Annelise?
When was the last time you spoke to Annelise?
6 weeks ago.
Come on, Stan, put this together, dude. I'm on each other's side whenever they're on screen. Have you noticed? I can't stay completely impartial, but I can enjoy either side.
Welcome back, sir. Arrived in this country January 8th to head up Line X for the Residentura. 2 weeks later, there's a meeting of all the groups working with the DOD on stealth technology. That's here. I can't make a direct connection.
No.
But look, no
Just holding it
suspects,
back.
no motive. Shot to death in a hotel room 2 miles away from a top-secret meeting.
You ever take a briefcase with you on vacation?
No.
No.
With documents and papers, which are clearly not here. So, what was taken? Because they wouldn't even be looking for this, just a family massacred in a hotel room.
Drug dealers and smugglers, they rig up concealments.
Now, I wonder who that could be.
Douglas and I have been trying to make things work.
Oh. This girl is too...
He's a wonderful man. He's so understanding.
Swedish intelligence needs you.
Are you serious? Who is he?
He's not a bad man, but dangerous things are happening in Pakistan. How hard would it be for the Deputy Undersecretary of Defense to get invited?
What do you need me to do?
The usual.
Cedar Grove Fellowship Camp?
I know it's not your thing, but it's not all preachy and everything. It's just, it's normal.
And you're old enough to be a counselor?
Yeah. Well, in training.
I really hope this isn't a fucking cult. Otherwise your daughter's going to get passed around. You need some really creepy, weird guy at the head of it for it to be that.
Вот это именно то, почему я здесь, чтобы его восстановить.
Мир во всем мире. Мне от вас зубы заболели.
Well, please, never happen. There's going to be an entire downfall of that country. And it's going to be for different reasons.
Я и моя семья, мы каждый год ездили в Крым. Да?
Рядом с Тарусой. Калужская область, знает где.
But if we say yes, she comes home a Jesus freak.
Well, then maybe we just need to let her figure it out.
What if we say no and she does something else, like drinking or drugs?
Do you know, you can't... The problem you've got with this is there's no correct course of action. If you say yes, it could go that way that Elizabeth is mentioning. If you say no, you know the minute you say that word to a teenager, that is just an excuse for defiance to go and do it anyway, because they're testing their own individuality and how far they can push you as a parent, because they're developing their own personality and persona and the type of person they're going to be. We all did it as teenagers. The minute something's forbidden and you've been told you can't do it, that's all you want to do.
So, how'd it go?
Good, I think. No, it was good. I felt like I was doing something important. Well, he's here on some big secret mission, but he doesn't really know that much about it. And his boss, this Javid Pervez, well, Javid doesn't really keep him in the loop. Yousaf knows diddly squat. He said he wants to see me again before he leaves.
Reagan's trying to turn Afghanistan into our Vietnam. We've all got brothers fighting there.
Annelise is working here.
That doesn't seem like the best way.
Can we move on?
The problem here, right, is because he's using Annelise instead. She's not used to playing this type of role and trying to bleed information from someone, and when you hit a stone wall like she has with this guy, that he's number two and he doesn't really know anything, that could clearly be the case. It could also be the case that he's keeping his cards close to his chest, because why is he going to tell some blonde woman that he's interested in sexually as a bit of a play around his personal and private business, especially when it comes to working, especially as to how important it is. It's not like he works in a shop. So what I'm saying is, by using Annelise, she's saying here for her to carry on working him. I just feel like someone like Liz would be able to push, without being too obvious, to just open him up to see whether he really does know anything or whether he's just playing you. Oh, you're just my bit on the side. You don't need to know any of this. So he's just play acting. I think Liz would be able to push it more than Annelise would.
If you mess up, my head will roll, not yours.
No, if we mess up, we're dead. So I'll wait for word from the center.
Oh, okay.
Looks like this number is unassigned. Best I can do is give you a junction box.
That'd be great, Mrs. Portman.
That's insane. The way that information would be found
We're finding
today
everything
is
out that we
completely
can, where
different.
they worked, hobbies, phone records, what they did in their spare time. Yeah, they've got nothing. They didn't know what they were looking for.
Wasn't there a son?
The police not going to know
He was
shit.
down at the pool when it happened. Didn't see anything till he came up and found them.
Covered this up well.
Yeah, but he couldn't have been perfect.
That's the pen in
And
the
the killer's
drawer.
still out there.
They want us to kill Yousaf's boss, Javid Pervez.
To put him number one.
He goes, Yousaf steps into the job.
Right.
You'll be with Annelise. I'll go to the pool. It's the best move.
Dinner in his room tomorrow night.
All right, relax.
I'm a little worried.
About? What, is it me?
I'm not sure you're really ready.
Men talk to me.
But his job is not to talk.
He must have heard something, seen something.
Nothing to do with illegals. You know that, Stan.
I don't know how, but I finally have the clearance to find out.
What's the matter, Tom?
His wife.
Sandra is having an affair.
So are you?
Yeah. Takes one to know one.
She was a big part of your life.
Do you know, you see this a lot, even if you take this completely out of context. Forget he's an agent. Forget she's here. He's just talking to a friend. Men, sorry, not that he's talking to a woman he's having an affair with. Men are quite happy to step out and have an affair. But the last thing they expect is for the wife to go out and do the same. And then it all suddenly comes as a shock. And you're like, the hypocrites when it comes to it, really. You're like, if you're going to play away, you can't say a damn word if it turns out your wife's going to do the same. Unless, of course, you know, mitigating circumstances, it could find out that she was doing this long before you were.
I really have to get back.
She's got two guys on opposing sides dealing with this stealth technology. One's trying to protect it, one's trying to steal it. Oh, well, she's been practicing a signature. She has. She's been practicing to forge your signature for that trip. Oh dear. Like us lot didn't forge our parents' signatures when we were trying to skip school and stuff, but...
The second N is a little off, but...
Busted!
Garbage?
I was emptying your garbage, and from now on, you can empty it. In fact, you can take out the trash for the whole house. I spoke to Pastor Tim.
You what?
I also told him you will not be going to camp.
I want to be a better person and I'm the bad guy?
You don't know what's best for you, and I do.
We really need to get going. We're going to be late, okay?
God, he's damn calm.
Glowworm!
That's a hell of a lot of cabling. Bing.
You have about an hour and a half with these.
These are what? 98% effective?
You're on 2?
I told her she's not going to camp.
There's a reason.
You did?
She was about to forge my name on the application.
I didn't think Paige would do that.
You don't know what she would do.
No.
You know, you are so easy on her. She walks all over you.
That's a lot of bloody phones. So he just sits here. Yeah, you know, don't you? Ah, there might not be anything of use in there.
Look, I know this has been a really hard time.
The sun, okay.
I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm sorry. A few more questions about your mom and dad.
To help you find the people who killed him?
Exactly.
He's relatively young. He was going off to university, wasn't he? So he's at least 18. I can't remember his age exactly. And I don't know whether he's with other people here now, staying with another family or on his own. But that seems like a big house for him on his own. Or I don't know. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to say. Even at his age, I would be like, hang on a minute. So you want to know more questions about my family? Not that he knows anything, because Elizabeth made sure of it. That letter was never passed to him from his parents in case of their death, to pretty much tell him who they really were. I would be like, so this appears to just be a normal murder of a family in a hotel room. No motive. We don't know why they were killed. He doesn't know why his parents and his sister were killed. They weren't robbed. They weren't abused. They weren't sexually abused. They weren't kidnapped. Why is the FBI looking into it? Because the FBI would not just look into a case like this. It would be local PD. So my back would be up if it was him. But maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe just not thinking about it or doesn't want to think about it to put the pieces together here as to why you've got such a high-ranking FBI agent asking questions.
Yeah, my mom was on the PTA and my dad coached T-ball. Yeah, they were really great parents.
I bet they were. But did you ever feel like there were parts of their life that you didn't understand, or, I don't know, things like secrets? Or maybe they had a place in the house where they hid things?
No. And I know that because I lived with them.
Of course you know, Jared.
Is he just going to give anything away?
My sister Amelia, she was 14. Did she have secrets?
I'll bet she did. And that's okay. I'm just hoping that if I can figure out some of your parents' secrets...
Sure, you've got some.
I might be able to find out who did this.
Here we go. Said there was only one way in and one way out. This is all he wants. How would you make someone reveal stuff that they don't want to reveal? Now we're finally getting to the bedroom bit. See if he does talk. Yeah, there she is. Wow. I mean, you don't get much more close and personal than that. I don't know what's in that, but it's clearly very effective.
I have to convince Javed that more frequent trips to Washington are now necessary.
I need a drink.
What are you doing?
Just pour me a drink, I said. How could you do this?
Annelise.
What kind of man are you? No! I wish I'd never met you! Stop it! Let me go! I'll scream murder!
You know, I said it was a bad idea. This is why I said it was a bad idea. She's an emotional train wreck.
You don't think it kills me to watch the woman I love sacrifice herself like that? It is not something I take lightly, ever.
Hello?
Hey, is Bobby there?
Bobby who?
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I must have the wrong number.
That was a nice little accent there. It's done.
Did you read?
What about Annelise?
I'll smell it.
If you notice, all these episodes go the same way. We always end with these two, usually at home. All right, guys, episode 10. I mean, I pretty much said throughout that episode that Annelise was probably not the right person to do that, because I just don't think her mind and her stamina is in for the job. But like I said, it's past the point of no return because they've just offed his boss and put him in charge. So whether he did or didn't know anything, he's now going to. So is he going to still claim that he doesn't? He's got to keep Annelise in play. Meanwhile, Paige, for me, Philip went too far with her previously. But this time, he's not gone far enough. So Elizabeth has stepped in because it's one thing to play hooky for the day and skip school and forge your parent's signature because you want to get out of class or get out of gym class or whatever. But what she's talking about here and the fact that she's caught her trying to forge her signature is way more. But Elizabeth's response of, I know what's best for you, you don't, is what will push her further and further away. Meanwhile, Stan and Gad shows he may be the boss, but he's not forgotten all the detective work and signs. You know, he's not just a delegator, which is what happens to a lot of government agents once they reach a certain level. They forget what it's like to do the other job. And spotted the briefcase. Family on holiday, briefcase didn't add up. So he's gone to the only sole surviving family member and he's trying to get stuff out of him. And like I mentioned in commentary, the lad's obviously not picked up at all as to why suddenly the FBI are interested in this. It's not a federal case. But he's not thinking like that, and Stan trying to coax out of him is the things that were ever off, or, you know, you think your parents were ever doing stuff behind your back that you shouldn't know about or they don't want you to know about. He's going to make a connection, but then when he just put that sketch in front of him, they left it there. We didn't go back to it, so see if anything comes from it, whether he mentions, yeah, I seem to recognise her. He will eventually put the pieces together. And the conversation he had with Nina about it being a shock that he finds out his wife's having an affair. In the midst, like I said, of opposing sides that Nina is in bed with, literally. One trying to steal it, one trying to protect it, one trying to figure the other out, and they've both come head to head anyway. And at the same time, you've got Oleg trying to circumvent what Stan's trying to do, and vice versa. And at the same time, they've met to be able to protect Nina in the midst of it all. It's just, the entangled web is getting more and more complex the further along that we go. And I understand why this series is quite a long series. I think there's like 6 or 7 seasons, because the fact that it's Russia and the US in the 80s and it's a Cold War, it's a cold, slow burn of a series. It has to be. It has to work that way. That scene with Elizabeth killing that guy, I can't remember his name, the guy's boss, in the swimming pool, and then at home, just lighting up a cigarette and just, she's ruthless, man. She's ruthless. And that's what Philip means. You're better at this than I am. Right. See where we go next. I will be back in a week's time for episode 11. Till then, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. By all means, post your comments down below. I'll see you for episode 11 in a week. Take care.